What is good? Salutations. We are here. Let me just put this a bit more light on me so I'm more handsome. There we go. With the 33rd part of Condensed Chaos by Phil Hine. Anyone who knows their numbers, 33 is a very, 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 very intricate master number. Used by a lot of high up people. They know what it means. I know what it means. So let us create with this 33rd part of Condensed Chaos. Witches, wizards, warlocks, magicians, magus, and magi. Strap yourselves in, because we're going to continue talking about gardening and forgetting about the fact you're even gardening. The trick is, next time you look at the garden, not to notice the plant you so recently lavished attention on. If the intent gets tangled up with all the other stuff in your head, you tend to start projecting various fantasy outcomes. What you'll do with the money when it comes. How will it be with the boy, the girl, the anteater of your dreams, etc. And the desire will get run into all the others, thus decreasing the probability of it manifesting in the way you want it to. A useful attitude to have when casting sigils is that once you've posted one off to the multiverse, which, like Santa, always gets the message, then you are sure that it's going to work, so you don't need to expend any more effort on that particular one. Such confidence tends to arise out of having had some success with sigils previously. The result often comes about when the intent has become latent. That is to say, you've completely forgotten about it and given up on it coming about. The experience is similar to trying to hitch a lift on a deserted road in the dead of the night. You've been there for hours. It's pouring down with rain, and you know with an air of dread certainty that no one's going to stop for you now. But you stick your thumb out anyway. What the hell, eh? 5 minutes later, you get a lift from the boy, girl, or anteater of 2 sigils back, driving a Porsche. Imagine an anteater driving a Porsche. And asking how far you want to go. Maddening, isn't it? But sigils often seem to work out like that. Recording results. If you're embarking upon a series of experiments with sigils, it can be useful to record the sigil experiment in such a way that it does not immediately bring to mind the original desire associated with the sigil. After writing up the details of your experiment, tape into your diary a scrap of paper with the sigil drawn on one side and the original statement of intent penciled onto the other side. Experiment with approaches. In the past, I have prepared half a dozen sigils at once, then filed them and deliberately lost them. Coming across them weeks later, I have totally forgotten the original desires, chose one and randomly picked it to empower. I find repeatedly doodling a sigil when most of my attention is elsewhere can be effective. The best time I find to perform sigil magic is when I am really busy and have lots to think about, so that I don't get into the trap of thinking about the desire for effect. Sigils can also be incorporated into photographs, cassette recordings, videos or drawings, tattoos, earrings, wall hangings, and clothing designs are also possible. Linked sigils. This is a simple application of sigil magic technique that you can try out. Firstly, prepare 2 sigils. One for some desire you wish to enchant for, and the other for something along the lines of, I will see a woman with long red hair carrying a small dog. Unless you are a particularly refined fetishist, this is something that should be fairly easy to forget. Now fire this second sigil first. Prepare your other sigil and carry it around with, preferably on a small piece of paper. It might well happen, as you go about your daily affairs, that you will suddenly notice the person or object fitting the description you have sigilized for. At this moment, the recognition of the subject of the first sigil will slip you into a microburst of gnosis. At this point, fire your other sigil intense visualization of the sigil into a whirling black chaos sphere, or any other preferred symbol, is one way of doing this. Swapping sigils. It can be useful occasionally to find another person who uses sigil magic and exchange sigils. This means that you have a sigil which is entirely meaningless to you and therefore is readily forgotten. Even if someone else casts a sigil which you have compounded, then there tends to be a result in accordance with your original intent. This seems to indicate that the most important part of the whole process of civilization is for you to frame your statement of intent and then relax away from thinking about the outcome of the intent. These are the elements of the process which define the parameters of success, rather than any mysterious forces, symbolism, or magical energy. This demonstrates an idea emerging within the chaos corpus, that the explanation an individual holds for a phenomenon should not necessarily be taken as a true description of what is happening, but nevertheless, that explanation generates the context by which that phenomenon takes place. In other words, the convoluted metaphysics which has grown up around much of contemporary magic provides a context of belief within which the magician learns to relax. As discussed in Chapter 3, relaxation and confidence are keys to magical success. The role that belief plays in creating a magical context is examined in Chapter 7. Alright, we're going to stop it there, and we'll be back tomorrow, where we will be talking about the Sorcerer's Toy Box. Lots of trinkets in there, no doubt. Until then.